Welcome back, everybody. Grand Tactician, Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 14 of our Federal Spring of 61 campaign in version 1.12. As you can see, we're already loaded onto the battle map here, as at the end of last episode, we had 6 Corps entering a fight against the Army of the Trans-Mississippi. And Benning's Corps, under the command of Robert Trabeau. So we do have a numbers advantage here of about 10,000 men at my current reports. And their morale is not very high. It's just force has been beaten down pretty badly. Yeah, it shows them around 33. So it is meeting engagement. I do have my troops set up here. They're entering the map from here and over here. So I'm not exactly sure where their main forces are going to be. So I'm sending an infantry division down this way to cover the road right here. And I'm rushing my cavalry and one infantry division, the 6th division, up here to Horseshoe Ridge. So cavalry be rushing there. The infantry be kind of rushing onto the road over here. So just to cover both crossing points, and we'll be close enough together where I can support either direction with the 4th Infantry Division. So, not much of a battle plan, but we just don't know which direction they're going to be coming from, just because of the way their 2 entry points are here and down here. There's no consolidated area of entry for them. So I'm going to get these troops on the move, and I will be back once I have contact with the rebels. Alright, it's now 1830, and the rebels were actually all the way down here, but they weren't on the road. Down here in the Whitney Hills Forest area. So we did seize the objective point here. I have shifted the cavalry division and along the Western Plains Railroad line here. And I had the 5th Infantry Division double time to a stone wall at this location. And thankfully, we got there just ahead of them. I see they're just hitting the road now from coming across country. And 5th is just getting in position. We do have the 6th Infantry Division heading out to the right across Ballard's Creek. And the 4th is going to be coming up here on their left. And the artillery is coming up. I just moved them one battery at a time, so it's going to take them. They'll get here faster than if I ordered the whole division, but still going to take them some time to get up. Should be seeing these boys any second now. Start sending out some skirmishers, slow them down. Double time these boys up here. I don't want to double time everybody up here. Everybody be exhausted. Here we go. Who's this? Sheffield's Cavalry, and they're already getting ready to break. And I'm in a decent enough position. This is engineers. I'm just going to start building breastworks, get their experience points up. Who's just behind him? Herbert. They're going to try and run past us, aren't they? Nope. Okay. You're in there. Let's switch you over here. I kind of feel like I can just push forward and start sweeping these boys away, but it looks like just the cavalry's ready to break right now. And this battery back here. And I didn't realize if I still had a pair of 6-pounder batteries in this army. It's supposed to be replaced with 10-pounder parrots. Totally forgot to do it. I was going to charge the skirmishers now. Nope, okay. I need you boys off the road. You boys going to flush out in the battle line, or are you going to try and go around us? Try to go around us. I do have cavalry out that way. And we do have until 2100 because it is June. So I'm hoping we can have this fight done today. I don't want to send my cavalry into their rear too soon, though. You get up here, too. Is that 5th? No, it's the Jersey Devils. There's World Black Watch, 5th New York. Fort Huron, give me some skirmishers. Go join the fun. Oh, they decided to charge the skirmishers. There they go. Now the cavalry's broken. Looks like this battery's going to go next. Oh, I don't tell me these guys are glitched out. Well, good job, detachment. They reform while you're on top of them, then you broke them again. That's not too bad. Can't complain about that. There goes that battery. Like Crawford's battery will be going next. Makes me wonder if the main lines are even going to meet. Alright, you're on. Give me some more skirmishers. The hell are you boys doing? And they're about to come back in anyway. Firing. Shifting position a little bit. Vision's coming up on the left. Perfect. You up close with those 6-pounders. Alright, skirmers. Skirmers are starting to get pushed in. I'm not going to send any more out. I want them to start closing their battle lines on us before the day closes out. Probably not going to happen, though. Brigades all getting ready. Escape orders for the cavalry. I head that way. Crap. Yep, there's the end of the day. Thought we had the 2100. We got 2000. Question is, are these boys still going to be here? So I did make a slight change on my rules when it comes to the redeployment. It's when they're in close contact with each other, I can move them around as they'd be shifting into positions. If they were still back on the road, I would not be able to move them. That looks good for now. Still in the same positions. Okay. Works for me. Back to work on those breastworks, please. Skirmishers are still out there. They didn't get sent anywhere crazy this time. Give me some skirmishers to take care of that battery. Looks like I might have a cavalry action out this way. Yeah, I think they're trying to get around us, and I ain't going to allow that. You boys can try and force your way past us anytime you would like. Recovered some morale overnight, not much. They're up to 39, but I don't think that's going to last too long. Who's back here? I think I might be a retreating unit, but I'm not too sure. Cavalry, swing over here, please. Not so that they really don't want to fight us. That's what it's coming down to. They really do not want to. That division's falling back. What? Let's close the trap a little bit here. Start sweeping in on their flank. See if they can't force them into an action here. Blucher, recall you skirmishers. We're the loyalists, kind of shift. Can't forget their orders yet. Just about to receive them. Just a little bit, Georgia. Third, we're just going to turn you in that direction a little bit as you got the 5th New York moving up on your left. We're going to start sending all the cavalry after these busted brigades back here. Just about in position. They basically sent this division forward on its own on a suicide run. Blackhoof, go hit Sheffield's brigade. Raincoat Riders, go hit Fields. Yorkshire Yeomanry, come hit Baldwin. They're running from us. Who's wounded? Ward. That's a nice volley to hit us with there. There's that brigade. Raincoat right into range. Come on. Go get them. Keep going. Keep going, damn it. Do not stop. Rip them down. I think the yeomanry might be in trouble. Look at that battery, please. Broke that brigade. Take down this battery. Cavalry brigade, please. Raincoats, don't stop. Keep going. Good job, yeomanry. Go get me those guns. These units are all tangled up. Looking back here. Commander of Blucher's brigade was wounded, so he's got to get replaced. That was one of the cavalry commanders that got hit. Come give me that battery, please. There they go. Oh, no. Got that visual glitch going on. Somebody just surrendered to us. Friar's brigade with 1,100 men. Hate that damn visual glitch. That's annoying as hell. Yeomanry, where are we? Oh, you're stuck in a big melee back here. You write those Cape Cod boys and tell them this is how it's done. Full batteries, or are they detachments? Detachment. And there's a battery there, but... Yeah, let's speed this along, because I think it's time to let them go. Who's back here still firing? No, nobody is. Okay. That charge went a lot better than I thought it was going to. But all those brigades were getting ready to break. But that was still a lot better than I expected. Right, we lost 384 of our 28,453 infantry. 1,000 of our 7,200 cavalry. So the cavalry did take a beating. They did catch a couple of good volleys in the face on their charge in. But that was to be expected. Didn't lose any of our guns. Total loss of 1,406 by 36,588 men. Army transmissile lost 5,000 to 20,000 infantry, 300 to 2,500 cavalry. Got all 75 of their guns. Total loss of 6,000 of their 24,000 men. Save this real fast. Take a look at the paperwork. We lost one officer wounded. That was Ward, commander of Blucher's brigade, so he's going to get replaced. See what he did here. Maryland Engineers did not fight. 2nd Cavalry Division, Yorkshire Yeomanry did 1,030 to infantry, took 369 prisoners. 14 Cavalry took 14 prisoners. 64 to artillery took 84 prisoners. Total 1,575. Looks like they might be the brigade that gets the Grumpy Seal of Approval for this battle. Raincoat Riders did 331 to infantry, captured 299 for total 630. The Black Hoof did 28th Infantry, captured 73, 12 to Cavalry, 172 to Artillery, captured another 149 for a total of 434. Division total 2,639. 5th Division, Jersey Devils did 64 to Infantry. 5th New York Volunteers did 15 to Infantry, 86 to Cavalry, 53 to Artillery, for a total of 157. The Royal Black Watch did 126 to Infantry, 1 to Cavalry, 9 to 1 to Artillery, for a total of 223. Division total of 444. 6th Division, Blucher's Brigade did 491 to Infantry, 35 to Artillery, for a total of 526. Port Huron Infantry did 267 Infantry, 19 to Cavalry, 2 to Artillery, for a total of 288. The Georgia Loyalist Mountain Rifles did 187 to Infantry, division total 1001. 4th Infantry Division did not fight. In the Artillery Division, 1st Colorado Battery did 26 to Infantry, 8 to Cav, 13 Artillery, for a total of 47. 1st New Jersey Battery did 2 to Infantry. 1st Ohio Battery did 10 to Infantry, 13 Artillery, for a total of 24. And the 1st Native Battery did 44 to Infantry, 3 to Cavalry, 8 to Artillery, for a total of 64. Division total 137. Now let's see if we got any of their officers. Bo got away. Wounded Colonel Cutts. Captured Brigadier General Pryor, killed Brigadier General Helm. All right. 1 dead, 1 wounded, and 1 captured. So that's not too bad for a day's work. I'll get closed out of here, and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Glorious victory at the Battle of Palestine. Battle of Palestine is ending with the army transmits, retreating in panic. The enemy's reported suffered total casualties of 6,042 men. There were 435 killed, 3,200 captured. Our casualties totaled 1,406 men, 196 killed, 227 missing, and the rest are wounded. Captured 3,900 rifles, 46 guns from the field, and paroled 3,148 soldiers. And Lieutenant Colonel Crawford loses face. That's from the enemy, so I'm not worried about that. We do have to replace Blucher. Not Blucher, Ward. New York Brigade. Okay. Got plenty of New York officers. Got here. We have any professional infantry? There we go. Samuel Heyman, the job is now yours. It looks like East Kentucky bootleggers ready to go, so let's get them transferred out. I wanted you boys to go to Third Corps. I wanted you boys in. Yeah, I'd have the 200 strength brigades here. So they are going to the 10th Infantry Division, 3rd Corps. Need to combine down. Looks like they actually got strengthened up. Not by much. So I'm going to combine down Nagel and Negley's brigades. Negley's down 142, so let's disband that unit. Alright. They're transferring in, and they should be there in a few days. CTA. 9 days until they're in 3rd Corps. Hopefully they're there before the next fight. Let's get this one rolled off. So we captured the hospital we're building, so we don't have to spend money on that. And they are building a prison camp up here, so we'll be taking that over soon. And they are retreating south. That is the last thing I wanted to see. They're supposed to go north. I came in south of them. Damn it. I wanted them to head north. 7th Corps cannot fight that. Get on the road and go north, please. I don't want to have to chase you down. I didn't want to do this, but Grant had to Waco. All right, time for the recap. And actually, we just crossed into July, so we got a few things to go over here. So 7th Corps still down in San Antonio working on that fortification. We did have another victory up here at Dallas, forcing basically all the rebel forces except for this corps now north of us and into the Indian territories. So we do have to... Who's back? Abercrombie. How was he wounded? So Grant now has to chase down Benning's corps down to Waco. Hopefully we can force them north with the rest of their forces. I can't... They're too big for 7th Corps to take on. And 2nd Corps has now reached Quincy, Illinois. So they're going to be sitting there until 1863. So start a spring 1863 campaign. We'll move in and take on the forces in Missouri. Virginia-Maryland border. Once again, I'm hoping we beat them down enough where they stay silent for a little while, but I'm highly doubtful of that. Highly doubtful. You know, they like to run around on us down here. Okay, your 3rd perk. Hopefully they stay away. I'm doubtful, like I said. And still haven't seen any of their fleets in my squadron. Still not engaging any of the fortifications, which is kind of pissing me off. This one's rebuilding, so it's kind of showing that we're engaging them, but not engaging them. It's kind of weird. It's not coming up with any naval bombardments on screen here. It's not showing any interaction with the forts. Oh, there we go. Now it's doing it. Wasn't doing that last episode, which not showing me any type of naval engagements. Okay. See if we can't get this leveled up to start taking down these forts with Marines. All right, let's go over to monthlies, and then I'll go into the historical records. I have a few things to add in there. All right, current rating of our nation is triple B. That did increase by another 25 mil, but we only cut the one bond, which kind of amazes me. The current economy cycle is recovery, although our population is below average, and decreasing. So why is it in recovery if it's decreasing? And we lost 22 million in tax revenues. Revenue should have not gone down. Last month, we built one news agency down here in Texas to help with propaganda and scouting purposes. Exports last month was 1 billion out, with 986 coming in. Average core production was 341 million, change in negative 17. Was still shorted on everything as usual. I do want to upgrade the iron mines here in Pennsylvania, but I just do not have the necessary funding for that. Over to finances. Yep, we're spending 411 million more than we are bringing in, though we are starting to get those costs down. Supply depots are at 90 million, and there's no extra depots out there. I've literally gone through everything and destroyed what I did not need. It's the army upkeep that's getting up there, but that also has to do with the weaponry that we are using. See, rebels just spent a lot of money, so they either just built a bunch more ships or they just recruited a lot more units. Could be either one. All right, come over to intelligence. Rebels are now doing print notes too. They've worked on logistics reforms, administration reforms. They have not improved their relations with Great Britain and France at all. It says they haven't recruited anybody, but they just spent a lot of money, so they might have recruited a bunch of troops before, after the July month turned over. Moroccan Federal Army is currently at 46%. And they've lost, shows 2 officers killed in action, Helm and Clayton Sr. Policy. Nope. Before we go to policies, go over strategy. Their national morale is now down to 72 to our 97, but their support's at 84 to our 73. While their armies were at 79 to their 49. Men fielded, we have 191,958 in the field to their 168,602. Navy tonnage, they're up to 153,000 tons. And I still have yet to fight them. I've only fought the one small fleet, and I haven't seen any other ships since then. So I don't know where the hell they are. We're at 29 victories to their 3. Once again, these are just the 3 forts they captured earlier in the campaign. Total casualties, we're sitting at 64,457 to their 164,681. It's unlike the live stream campaign. These guys are not recruiting. They got nobody. All right, coming over to policies. Currently working on industrialization 3. And after that, I might come over here to do war bonds. I don't want to do print notes. I don't want to do bounties. And I'm not going to do emancipation because I'm trying to help the rebel AI along. I may have to end up doing it at some point or another, but I'm trying to hold off on it. Projects, what we got available here? Structure reform, subsidized industries. Takes industrial money. I don't want to spend that because I'm trying to upgrade the iron mines and also build a railroad down in Texas to help with supplies. There's nothing here on the military side that I really want. Would like another level of logistics reform. That's probably going to be a while away. How much money is that going to cost? Oh, we're almost there. Level 3 logistics reform. That'll cost me 6.1 million at 5.8. So we'll actually get there pretty soon. We'll be able to pick that up next month. That's about the only thing left in here that I want or need for the most part. So we're just going to keep dumping money into that and get the costs down on our field forces. This is probably what's costing us all the money down here, is keeping these troops supplied. All right. Now time to go into the historical record. A letter from Private Albert W. Minton, Company C, 4th Tennessee Volunteer Infantry, Lincoln's Nolichucky Legion. Dated June 27th of 1862. Dearest Martha, I apologize for the penmanship of my response, as despite it all, I cannot quell the shaking of my hand. We met the Rebs again on the same stretch of ground. General Scott had stretched his line out to cover every potential crossing and envelope any assault. The boys had thought it was simply the old man's caution catching up to him. Graybacks came at us, tried to force a crossing as our division scrambled from the roadside we had bivouacked on the night before. Despite our disorder, the Rebs seemed unwilling to hold what ground they'd gained. Soon our boys had stemmed their advance entirely, aided, it must be said, in no small part by the 10th Division. The fight seemed to go out of them after being repulsed, and soon they found themselves enveloped. The Rebs seemed to melt away under fire from flank and rear, entire brigades breaking for the tree line, staff officers riding like madmen, trying to prevent a mass rout. But soon their commanders had joined the flight, plowing across the creek alongside the desperate brigade of infantry under one Colonel Clark. Colonel MacArthur promptly drew his sword and rode along the line, giving the order to charge each regiment in turn before rushing into the fray. With a shout for the cause in the old volunteer state, we joined him, each man determined to reach the foe before his comrades. The rebels gave one volley and had already begun to throw down their rifles before we had reached their lines. Not a man of the brigade escaped, and the staff of many a grayback officer was soundly depleted. Enclosed, you'll find a stretch of cloth, taken from the flag of the Army of Ohio's headquarters. The ever-faithful fiancé, Albert. 2 undated letters from Sergeant Jerome T. West, 5th New York Volunteers. Dear Marion, well, after arriving in Texas, we were told to march up the coast. We marched February, March, April, and May, with the rebels withdrawing before us as we captured ghost town and city after city. The locals definitely resented us being there, but they resented more that their beloved troops kept fleeing before us. Officers and generals kept telling us that they could not match our numbers, so were wisely retreating before us. Both the birding and the fishing have been great. Most of the men in our unit have noticeably gained 10 pounds or more. Marching is real smart now, and our aim is great. I miss home and you very much. But all this marching and drilling is boring us all. We look forward to other ways to amuse ourselves. It mainly consists of playing cards, sitting around, playing the harp and mouth organ, and a bit of singing, which is none too good, but it is loud. I apologize for the long delay between letters. I am letting you know now I am safe and missing you, every moment of every day. But please tell Mom and Dad, and your little sister Agnes, that Tommy is fine. He came in on a supply wagon and has wrangled a job with the quartermaster unit. The days are hot, When it rains, it pours down here. Hopefully by January next year, this war will be over. As we keep marching east, by next January we'll probably be in New Orleans or someplace in Georgia. Love and fiance, Jerome T. West. My Marion. Spent most of the month of May out on the coast, then orders came to move north to Dallas. Boy, are we happy to get away from the coast. It is now June 24th, and our scouts say there is a rebel army to the west of us. General Grant said we are marching west, best not to let the 5th Corps have all the glory. My love goes out to you, my dear, and I have enclosed a deed entitled to 160 acres of the finest grazing land I ever did see. Order from a fellow who was looking to go back to Mexico, said he needed to help their homeland. Cost most of the money I've saved up for us, $58. Hope when the war is over, and God willing that I survive, we get some cows and a ranch in Texas. Marion is so beautiful down here, wonderful land to grow and raise children. And I know a person just don't want to talk about it, but if I should not make it back to you, the land is yours. My love goes out to you, dear. Goodbye for now. Your loving fiance, Jerome T. West. A letter from Captain Sellers, Bethlehem Steel, dated June 1st of 1862. Mosier, I've been meaning to ride home, but our colonel from Lancaster as it's always on the march. We've been fighting quite a bit around Austin. The first couple of battles we learned a lot about unit cohesion. Seems like every time we charged in, we would turn and run as soon as we broke the Rebs. Yesterday, our whole division came down on 2 brigades, took almost 900 prisoners. We don't have the ability to take home with us, so our corps commander sent them back to Tennessee. We should only have good news from here. Don't worry so much about the news of Johnny Rebs in Pittsburgh. Our boys on the home front will lick them long before they can make it to the valley. Don't worry about us neither. We'll just be fine. All my love, James. From the diary, Captain Franklin Malone, Company B, 2nd Regiment, 50th Iowa River Boys. 17th of June, 1862. I just finished writing to that kid's family, letting them know they fell in battle. That was hard to say something nice about what happened. Didn't even have time to get to know him. I fear what my wife will say when she gets the letter about me being wounded. All I could say was it was not much of a wound, but at times it hurts like being kicked by a mule. 19th of June, 1862. 3rd Regiment was indeed folding to the 1st and 2nd Regiments, Captain Johnson being assigned as my 2nd command. Since Captain Johnson has graduated from West Point, I'm looking forward to having him in the company. When I met him, he didn't look too thrilled to have his company taken away. But who knows? Maybe we'll get some new men when the campaign season ends this year and the brigade can reform the 3rd Regiment. 23rd of June, 1862. Got nearly 2 dozen letters from my wife this morning at mail call. I know it's taking time for letters to get from home to the arse end of the South. It doesn't help that 5th Corps has non-stop marching across Texas. Picked up a newspaper when we arrived here in Dallas to see the Rebs are marching on Washington for the 9th time. There are rumors going around in Dallas that there is a large army marching on us. I'd have to guess that army is 6th Corps marching our way. 24 June, 1862. I woke early this morning, about 6:30. Take a walk through the camp, as long as it's clear in my mind. When I got back to my tent, there was a messenger orders that we were to march soon. Called for Captain Johnston and Lieutenant Victor to get the men up and at least feed them before the march. After getting the men something warm in them, it was about 9 in the morning when we started the march. Around 2 in the afternoon, we came close to one of the crossings on the Trinity River. John Grandpa ordered the Corps to take positions along this old farm with the heights overlooking it. 3rd Division take up on the left flank of the line with our brigade. We were to take up positions next to the Janzica Legion. It was close to 3 in the afternoon when we arrived to where Colonel Ricketts thought General Haig told him where to set up the line near the top of the heights. It's 4:15 when John Grandpa came up, seeing us near the top of the heights as when we started to yell at both General Haig and Colonel Ricketts on our brigade's positions. As we marched down to the valley, on our right of Janzica Legion boys, I could see at least 3 to 4 rebel brigades forming up near some large rocks and trees in front of our center. As the lone rebel brigade marched headlong into the Zika Legion, we marched out of our position, so we fired into those rebs' flanks. I was thinking out loud this time, Joe Grandpa must really have it in for us to send us to the side of the line. It almost never sees any action. It was around 4:30 when I think General and those rebs heard me, because it looked like they started to march a brigade of rebel cavalry and a division trying to outflank the army. It was close to 5 when Joe Grandpa ordered Colonel Ricketts to detach skirmishers. Lucky companies were from the 2nd Regiment, Companies B and D. They were setting out, with Joe Grandpa yelling, taking silence those damn guns. After firing into the battery guns, the boys started to cheer. I could see what looked like the whole damn Rebel army marching on us, with some marching to the Corps' right flank. The look on Captain Johnson's face when he seen what I seen Told me this was going to be a bad idea if we stayed out and fought in the open. What we could do is fight without orders or to fall back. Turned to see what Lieutenant Colonel Hammer started to run. Then he was shot in the back, dropping him like a rabbit. About half an hour of fighting, we got our orders to fall back with the rest of the brigade. It was about damn time. I don't know how many men Company D lost, but I could tell about Company B lost about 7 men in that skirmish action, not to mention the loss of our brigade's second command, Lieutenant Colonel Hammer. After falling back and taking up our company's position, one of the Red brigades marched, trying to push through our line. After what seemed like an hour of firing into those Rebs, they broke and ran. With a few minutes to close our ranks with the brigade having holes in the line, the rider came up. Young General Grandpa ordered us to push up and take the fight to the Rebs on the other side of the small hill. As we stopped on top of the hill, the Rebs started to fall back in the center. It looked like 2 or 4 brigades on the left were still holding on. The men are starting to flinch at the sound of cannonballs exploding near us. It was one of those nearby sounds when I seen blood coming from the side of Lieutenant Victor's neck. He's just as stubborn as I was in the last battle. With every step we were taking, closing into what's left of the rebel lines, the more I'm wishing those bastards would just retreat. It was 6:30 when we could see our cavalry charging into the Rebs. We couldn't cheer too much as the fresh rebel brigade started firing in front of us. About 5 minutes in, when I could hear the bugle call charge. Without thinking, I ordered bayonets. Before the rest of the brigade, we started charging the rebel line. As we came in contact with the Rebs, some threw their rifles to the ground and started to run. Someone yelling to keep going, 50th. Turned to the closest rebel brigade and started to march at them. As we started to close in on the Rebs, they started to fall back. We kept on our push at them. It was close to 7 at night when the last of the rebels left the field, and the order was given to stop chasing them. The time to look out wounds. I noticed that Company B had lost 10 men, 56 wounded, missing 3. It was 8:30 when I came across them, saying they'd ended up getting mixed in with the Janzika Legion after the charge and stayed with them until after the fighting. Happy the boys are seeing action, holding their own. The company's starting to show signs of wear and tear that I'm fearing may not hold if we see action without having any rest. So once again, like I keep saying, I am absolutely loving these things. I hope everybody keeps on sending in these letters and diary entries. They make this so much more enjoyable for me, and I hope everybody else is enjoying hearing these stories as much as I am reading them. One thing that happened, I did forget to hit pause on the map, and I think you guys should have seen it. I forget which regiment's letters I was reading, but Kentucky has seceded to the Confederacy. But they're not going to get much out of that. State support is 68% for me, so any troops that are actually going to pull out of Kentucky are not going to be very good, to be honest. They don't have enough support for them to be good fighters. And Benning's Corps, which was retreating south towards Waco, is now cutting cross country. Looks like they're heading out here towards Fort Belknap. So we're going to stop pursuing them with the 6th. They're going to stop in Waco long enough to get back into yellow readiness. They're going to be sending them back down over to Beaumont, in order to be ready to move into Louisiana at the start of the spring campaign season. They're down to about 18,000, and then going up to 19, so 7th Corps can handle them when they start shifting up that way, take on that fortification. So hopefully you can handle that siege with that force there without an issue. And the forces in Kentucky, I'm not worried about. My reports have them at about 8,500 men, so 1st Corps, if they decide to cross up into Ohio, 1st Corps tomorrow can easily handle that force. Alright. Hopefully it stays quiet for a majority of the month, so I'll be back with the next major incident. Alright, it is now July 20th, and Army of the Southwest with Smith's Corps is attacking our 5th Corps up at Dallas. They're bringing 29,836 infantry and 43 guns to our 25,700 infantry, 4,200 cavalry, and 58 guns. So obviously, we're taking this fight, but I'm a little worried if somebody follows up behind them because 5th Corps is not in good shape right now. They're just barely in the green, and we were low of ammunition and provisions, and my depot is not going to be done for another 5 days. So hopefully they don't come up on us with another corps right behind them, as I did have to send 6th Corps out of Waco because they are down the red readiness. I had to shift them all the way back down to San Antonio, where there's a supply depot, as I already burned down the one here at Houston. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough going here if they push again on 5th. I'm not going to be able to hold this ground if they send another corps in. But Like I said, we're taking this fight, so I'll see you all on the other side of the load screen. Welcome, my grunts, to the second battle of Dallas. As you can see, I'm already set up in a defensive position here, as we are defending on the same map. Basically, we're going to be fighting on the same ground as the last battle, just in the opposite direction. The rebels are entering up here, so they're going to be marching down this road, either coming this way and down this track, or around this way and up this road here. I kind of envision them coming from over this direction for the most part, but we're just going to hang out back here. So I do have it set up as I standardly do. The 1st Division's in the center with their support battery. 3rd Infantry Division's on the right flank. And 2nd Infantry Division is off on the left flank. With one set at enough points to do a full set of, one small set of entrenchments over here. And I'll have the engineers finish out some breastworks over here. And then shift down the line over here to do some breastworks for these boys. I do have the Cavalry Division in the woods off on my right flank to hopefully take advantage of an open flank. That's it. So we're just going to wait for them to show up. I'm hoping they consolidate and come down the road here at us, but I know the AI is going to see this pop up on the map, so they may not come that way and try to come across country here. Here's hoping they do what I expect them to do. So I'll be back once the rebels make contact with us. Alright, it's now 1850 of day 1, and the rebels are finally closing in on us. I didn't think they were actually going to make it here before the end of the day. So they're going to be walking into a pretty heavy defensive position. We're behind a stone wall, some entrenchments out on the road, with the abattoir in between us and them. So not the best attacking position for these boys. You just see the 1 brigade right now. We got dust trails all the way back here. They should be stopping soon to reform for an attack, but we'll see how long it takes them to do that. I didn't bother with skirmishers this time around. I just want to get these lines closed in as quickly as possible. And that and their morale actually is better than ours, as 5th Corps has taken a beating lately. Not much of a beating, but they're a lot of fighting. So the Jan Zika and the 1st U.S. Regulars should be getting the first shots out outside of the artillery. I should probably put the artillery on fire at will. They're not firing back here, and they'll have beautiful sight lines over here. There's no artillery in sight yet. I think may have to send the Liberty Bells back home. They're down to 10 guns and 140 men. Yep, looks like they're stopping. Looks like they're going to prep for an attack, so I won't hold you all here. I'll come back in once their assault begins. Alright, it's now 1920, and the rebels are really extending their lines out here. So I've ordered the engineers into this wood on the right flank of my line, and I'm ordering the cavalry out to this fence line here. They're now both these brigades are now armed with Sharp's carbines, so they can definitely hold their own against whatever's thrown at them. Looks like they're extending out on my left also. Looks like Magruder might know what he's doing. Or maybe not. If he leaves these 2 batteries here on their lonesome, I might be able to take them down with the cavalry before the fighting starts. I think we just might do that. Cavalry come out this way. Now, they did send a lone group of skirmishers forward. They did cause 2 casualties to the Liberty Bells, caused me to lose a gun. Barely have enough men to keep all those guns in the line. I definitely have to get these men reinforced. Yes, I have to recruit a battery of generics just to throw them into this unit. This I'm a little more worried about up here. They're definitely going to go around. I don't want to bend the line back either. New orders. Good boy. There's that brigade there. They are protected. Sending the skirmishers up so far, looks like. Like Ohio Blue Jacks is about to have a hot time. Bethlehem Steel, get dismounted. Order, please. It's Washington Artillery. These Sabres, swing back onto the rear of this brigade, please. About to lose daylight here in a few more minutes. I don't know if I'll be able to get that. At least want to try and get the one battery knocked out. Sounds like I got firing over here. But you first get those sharps to work. These guys do not want to attack the center of my line. Dismount. Whose order? Some troops behind us, but we should have these battery and this brigade knocked out before they show up. They can envelope our flank here, but they're kind of pushing it in at us, so I will take that. Back here. That's more artillery showing up. Okay. That battery, which means that infantry's now turned its flank to the Bethlehem Steel. Pushing on them, boys. Keep firing. Iowa. Push forward and engage Kemper. over here. It's falling back, sending skirmishers forward over here. Yeah, there's kind of a gap in my line there. I probably should throw skirmishers into it. This is engaging them, so... Alright, not too bad. Not the best engagement angle, but they're doing it. Oh, they're rushing everybody over to this pocket. Look at that. Me trying to clear these flank brigades is causing them to roll into a trap. I did not design. This is a trap of their own making. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a trap of their own design they just walked into. Alright, Viking Brigade, forward. '79th, give me some skirmishers. Take on those skirmishers, please. First, change of frontage. Ooh, they're doing some mighty fine work with these sharps. Trying to save his flank, he just ruined himself. I gotta worry about up here, but we are holding fine. A lot of artillery at the Liberty Bells, but not do much damage to it. These batteries looking. Oh, Higgs, you finally hit 3-star counter battery. Good. You flag. That one kind of stands out. Main. Boy, how we looking? Sodbusters, you got it too. I think there's an Iowa flag in here somewhere. Thought there was. I kind of like that one. Wish those flag images were a little bigger than they are. Alright, Derby, push forward. Join the rest of your division, please. Cavalry, go take out this artillery, please. Alright, 79th, call on your skirmishers. Cavalry, get back to standard formation. I'm going to mount you boys back up. But first, let's advance you up, get those sharps in range. Start peppering those brigades. Gotta love it, their attack has turned into a damn defensive rout. The 9th forward. Grunts forward. And Zika forward. Alright, Mercer's flank is turned to us. Bloody Sabers, get in there. Bethlehem Steel, same thing. Egg, push your division forward this way, please. It's time to wrap this up. Good job, Bethlehem Steel. Cavalry, let's swing back out this way. Regulars, push forward. Everybody gets in on the action in this battle. Oh, I didn't even see the withdrawal order go out. Really? I did not see that withdrawal go out. Oh no, we hit the end of day, I think. And did an overnight withdrawal. Yeah, enemy is withdrawn from the field as night set in. Okay. Oh, and the numbers speak for themselves. Took down 3,500 or 30,000 infantry. Got 0 of their cavalry, because they had none. Got 35 of their 50 guns. Total loss of 3,700 of their 31,000 men. We lost 499 of our 25,697 infantry. 83 of our 4,200 cavalry. 1 of our 62 guns. Total loss of 587 of our 30,792. So we actually did a little better than 6-to-1 odds on that fight. And Magruder really screwed up when he basically threw his men into that little box I'd formed on his left flank. That was the end of it. Once he started feeding troops into that, that was it. Still shows us as fighting. Or is this leftover sound effects? Probably. That went a lot faster than I thought it would. Alright, we didn't lose anybody wounded, I don't think. Hold on. No, we did not. Okay. Take a look at the combat report. Engineers did not fight. 1st Cavalry Division. Bethlehem Steel did 640 to infantry. Took 174 prisoners. 42 artillery for a total of 857. Bloody Sabres did 509 to infantry. 31 artillery for a total of 540. Division total 1,397. 3rd Infantry Division. Derby Hellfighters. Got no shots in there, really. 50th Iowa River Boys did 344 to infantry. Viking Brigade did 194 to infantry, 7 artillery for a total of 201, division total of 545. 2nd Division, Ohio Blue Jackets did 416 to infantry. Bloody First did 744 to infantry. The U.S. Regulars did 12 to infantry. 1st Division, Janzika Legion got no shots in there. 79th Highlanders did 19 to infantry. Mike Grunts did 15. Liberty Bells did 81 to infantry, 2 to artillery for a total of 85, division total 119. Artillery Division, Higgs Volunteers did 12 to infantry, 17 to artillery for a total of 29. Iowa Sodbusters did 101 to infantry, 4 to cavalry, 68 to artillery for a total of 173. 1st Maine Battery did 25 to infantry, 42 artillery for a total of 69. The 1st Illinois Battery did 96 to infantry, 16 artillery for a total of 114, division total of 385. Looks like Bethlehem Steel gets a grumpy seal of approval for this battle. Yep. Let's see if we got any of their officers. All right, we wounded Magruder. Wounded Colquitt, wounded Mercer. And that's it. So, wounded the Army commander and 2 brigade commanders. That's not too bad. Yeah, we'll get closed out of here, and I will see you all at the newspaper screen. Victory at the Second Battle of Dallas. The enemy's report of suffered total casualties at 3,811 men. There are 548 killed and 1,260 captured. Our casualties total 587 men with 72 killed and 85 missing. Captured 1,900 rifles, 15 guns from the field, and paroled 1,192 soldiers. And some poor lieutenant colonel lost face because of this battle. Way to pass the buck. Hopefully I didn't drag our readiness down too far. Okay, we're still in the yellow. That's good. High-end yellow. And we now actually have supplies. All of a sudden we had supplies. Before the battle we didn't have any. Because we just captured a bunch. More days for your supply depot. 5 more days. Corps still moving on Austin. All right, 7th, it's time to start moving you. Swing out this way. Then we can start swinging them north towards Fort Belknap. Still sitting quiet over here, Virginia-Maryland line. Yeah, it looks like it. They're still licking their wounds. Their morale's got to be crap right now. The Army morale is so low for the Army in its entirety. They should never sent that attack forward. Oh, they got someone sitting in Covington. Army Tennessee, 9,000 men. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Who's this? Florida State Militia, another 17,000. No big deal. Now, maybe since they've taken Kentucky, they'll make some moves here in Missouri, because they should have taken Missouri already. They should have grabbed St. Louis and St. Joseph by now. They still haven't. They've just been sitting outside of them this entire campaign. Literally, like, they could just marched in and taken them and gotten Missouri for themselves. Oh, they took St. Joseph finally. Western Army's got 21,000 men. Looks like it's making its way towards 2nd Corps. That'd be good. Finally get some of those units into a fight. That'll actually be the first battle. I think that'll be... If they get into a fight with 2nd Corps, I actually think it's going to be their first official fight. But I do believe this is a good place to end this episode. I don't want to do more than 2 battles per episode, even though those were 2 short battles. I don't want to push the campaign to too early of a conclusion. So once again, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, if you're not yet subscribed, please ignite that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so the next video comes out. Flag a brigade in one of my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, state it's from, weapons, uniforms, officers, and I'll oblige on all counts if possible. I just ask that you be subscribed to the channel. You don't even have to be a member. There's no paywall. I just ask that you subscribe. I can't check to see if you are or not, so it's on an honor system. And I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.